This is Martin Shervington, and in this video we're going to cover just about everything you need to know about Google Hangouts. There are two main types of Google Hangouts. You have text chat and video calls, and then the other type is called Hangouts-On-Air, where you can record and stream live on YouTube, as well as on Google+. The first thing is where to find them. If you click on the green icon, you can then sign in. That will bring up a list of contacts that you have within Hangouts. From there, you can click on an individual, and if they are online, you see that they have a green underscore. And when they're not, they won't have that. From there, you can send a text message, and you can add more people to a Hangout, and up to around about 100, so you can include an individual or a circle, for instance. Or you can cancel. If you want to start the video call with just that one individual, then you can do that, because Google Hangouts are both text chat and video call. Coming across to the little cog or gear, you can decide whether to check or uncheck to receive notifications or not, whether you want to record a Hangout history, whether you want to archive a Hangout and retrieve it later, or delete it, or block the individual who is in that video call. And you can choose to save or cancel. As you'll see, when a person is present in the Hangout, they will appear, and 3 little dots shows that they're typing, and we can see that they are on a mobile device. And if they're on a computer screen, we'd see a little computer icon instead of the mobile one. And if we click on the smiley faces, we can look to add some of those as well. And there's other options that you can look at from this particular menu. So there's many icons. If you click on the photo icon, you can select an image to send within the Hangout itself. Now this remains private within the Hangout, so if you select one of those, you can send that over, and you can see that that will have appeared. And you can then interact on that particular content. You can also hover over and add people directly into circles from the Hangout, and you can then visit their profile. At the bottom of the hover card, you'll see a Hangout icon, and you can start a Hangout from there too. Let's now take a look at a Hangout that has several people. This is one that has 18 people, and we can see that in this section. If we click on that, you see that there are a list of all the people within that particular Hangout. You can see who's online by an underline, which is in green. Also, if you click on the face of anybody within that section, it will take you to their profile. If you want to add more people, then click Add People, and then you can choose to add them in. Because this is a group chat, when you click on the cog, there are slightly different options to the ones that you had when you were just talking with an individual. You can archive the Hangout, which will remove it from the main Hangout list, but you can return to it later. You can leave, but you don't have the option to delete. Also, you can choose whether to have the notifications on or off, and the same whether to record the Hangout history. And a very useful feature is the ability to add a name to the Hangout, which helps you know which Hangout has which individuals in, and then communicate with them. The other aspect of the Hangouts is that you can start a video call, and you do that by clicking on that icon, and that will call the people from within that Hangout. Let's now take a look at the overall settings for Hangouts. If you click in the upper right, you'll see that you can snooze notifications on all Hangouts. So if you're busy and you don't want to be interrupted, then you can decide on one of those settings. Next, you can either mute sounds or have those appear when new messages appear. You can customize new invites, which will take you to the page that allows you to decide who can get in contact with you. If you want people to be able to hang out with you, you have that option, or if you want them just to be able to send a request, click Send Request. Then you can change your profile picture. You can look at archived Hangouts. So these are the ones that you've put in archive, and you can, for instance, unarchive a Hangout just by clicking, and from there click on the cog and choose Unarchive. Archiving a Hangout will remove it from the main list, and when you unarchive it will reappear. And then go back. Next, you can look at Hangout invites, and you'll see them here. You can also see the people who you've blocked. Then there's help, the ability to send feedback, and you can sign out. As you will have noticed, I missed one, which was called Call a Phone. Now this will start a video call aspect of a Hangout, and that will dial them as if you're making a phone call. As you can see, at the bottom we have live video calls going on already. And if I click into one of these, it will bring up the option to join that video call. And before I go in, I see the people who are already in that video call, and I can choose whether to enter. And to enter, just click Join. If you click on View All, it will take you to a page of Hangout parties, and you can join the Hangout from there. When you want to start a Hangout, click in New Hangout, and you can choose the individual or, for instance, a circle. If, however, you want to start just the video call aspect, click Start a Party, and that will bring up the video call to begin with. From the screen, you can invite people to the video call or Hangout party, and you can have up to 10 people in the room, or 15 if you have a Google Apps account. Begin by typing the message that you want them to receive, then decide on the recipients, for instance a specific circle of individuals, or you might decide to add a telephone, and you can require guests to be over 18 by checking that box. When you've chosen the people that you want to invite, click Share. As you can see, when there's a video call going on, it will appear with a green icon next to it in this section, which you can also click and turn into the group chat. And when you see there's a green bar at the top within a group chat, you can click on that and enter that Hangout. So here we are in the video call aspect of a Hangout. The first thing we're going to look at is the menus. As you can see at the moment, we've got a sort of full immersion in the screen, which is very cool. If you hover over, you will find the first menu. Click on Chat to bring up a side chat. Now this chat isn't the same as a group chat, so this chat just remains within the Hangout. So if you want to bring up some extra commands, which you can see there, / and that will bring those commands up. You can chat with people, and that will be added to the side chat, and you'll see a little icon that appears there. So you can often be using this in the Hangout with lots of people as a way of communicating without speaking over each other. Okay, below that we have a screen share option. So click on that to show which screen on your computer. And below that you have capture, and that allows you to take a picture of things going on in the Hangout and save them in your photos for later. I have other options as well which I've added in, but some of the main ones to mention are Google Drive, which is an incredible tool, and you can pull in documents from Drive and work on them together within the Hangout. So definitely look at that one. Hangout Toolbox is brilliant, and there's a function of a lower third which you can add in, and that will appear at the bottom when you're doing a Hangout. And also, just to mention the YouTube app, this allows you to bring a YouTube video into the Hangout and watch it then together. And you can even search YouTube videos and have those come up in a playlist at the same time. So that's that side menu. We're going to come now to the bottom, and the first thing is that if you click on the question mark, you can see you can send feedback, and you can also get keyboard shortcuts, and you can go through those. And the other option there was to get help, and that will take you to a help page. On the official Google Plus help page for Hangouts, you may even see one of my articles and one from Billy Wilson. Okay, coming to the top, if you click on mute microphone, it will go red, and you're muted. The next one across is you can turn your camera off, and that keeps your mic on, just has your icon there. And next to that, you can adjust your bandwidth usage. And if you're not particularly good bandwidth, then you can take it down lower, which gives you more options. Next to that, you have a cog or a gear, and that will take you into settings. And in settings, you can choose your camera, your microphone, and also your audio. When you're ready, click Save. Okay, a few other things. When you're ready to end the call, you just click on that, or you click in the upper left. The upper right has options of changing, oh that's very bright, how things look. So that will help you look your best on camera. And at the bottom, you see that I have a blue box around this particular version of me. The other version's on the other device, which I've turned the camera off. And if I unblue box, then it would mean that whoever is speaking, wherever the sound is coming from, jumps into the screen, which is great. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to put a blue box around myself. Also really handy if you're screen sharing to use that. If you go to an individual here and you click on the menu, you can mute a person, you can visit their profile, or you can ignore, which means that they won't be able to interact with you for the rest of that video call. Ignoring is different to blocking, because when you block somebody, it's kind of more permanent, and they won't be able to enter a video call if you're already in it and you've blocked them. So some of the main differences there. To point out that if I want to shut the chat, by the way, we just close the chat like that and we move back into this sort of full immersion. Now there's one key thing that I haven't told you how to do, which is how to invite more people to the chat or to the video call. Now, because this one I had only invited one person, we don't have the option here to invite more. So we have to go to the Hangout group Hangout chat here, and from there, as we looked at earlier, we can add more people to this Hangout. I've just jumped to another Hangout where you can see the option here to invite people. So when you see that icon, you can click and go through the process as you did from the start and decide on who you want to bring into that video call. And one final thing, just to say, this little character here is called Plusto, and he's a mascot for Kamoogle, as I know people want to know. Now let's take a look at the other type of Hangout, called a Hangout-On-Air. A Hangout-On-Air is different to the sort of Hangouts we've been looking at because they are recorded, and they're recorded onto your YouTube channel. To begin, go across to the sidebar and down to Hangouts, where you'll find other people's Hangouts-On-Airs. And if it has a play and it has live, it means it's going on right now. To schedule your own Hangout, click on the blue button and it will bring up the box, and from here you're going to have two options. Do you want the Hangout-On-Air to start now, or do you want it to start at a time in the future? If you choose later, you can adjust the time. Here's an example of a Hangout-On-Air that is set to occur in the future. And I've added a trailer, which I could delete here. If I wanted, they could turn on the Q&A app, which allows people to ask you questions and you to reply to them. You'll see that you can leave comments, and that other people can comment on that event thread. Now we'll just jump into my profile, and you can see under posts that this event has appeared as a post when I created the original Hangout-On-Air. And the text that you see at the top of the post is the text that I have in the section. And the time and the title all appear here. So the Hangout-On-Air has been generated as a post, and it happens to be the same as the event. And the comments, and you see here, the one from William Rock appears on the event page for the Hangout-On-Air. So the last event was a public event. In other words, the audience was public. Using this example, I'm just going to invite myself, and what you'll see is that it still generates a post, but it's only going to be viewable to me on my profile. So there we have the post, and I can click to play once the Hangout-On-Air is being broadcast. You've also got the option of giving people the event page link, embedding the video within a website. You can message the viewers and send a message to people who have or haven't responded, and you can invite more people. Just to recap, when you invite more people, you're inviting more people to watch the event. If you are the broadcaster, you have the option to start, and a screen will come up where you can invite individuals to participate as guests on the Hangout-On-Air. Once you're in the Hangout, you'll see that it buffers, and then you'll be able to start the broadcast when you're ready. Also know that you've got your links down in the bottom right corner, and that you can invite more people into the Hangout, not just as audience members, but just add those in by choosing from circles or individuals. Then, when you're ready, you're going to click Start Broadcast. So we'll do that now, and go live, and you'll hear a ping, and it just takes a moment, and after it says starting, it will say Stop Broadcast because we then want to end it. Also, if you're a guest, you'll see that there's a live icon up in the corner. From there, you're going to do your Hangout-On-Air. And when you're ready, you just click Stop Broadcast when you want to finish. That's it. So that's your first Hangout-On-Air. Very quick introduction, but hopefully that will get you going with live streaming your events. Once the event is completed, it will appear on your YouTube channel under the section of Video Manager and Uploads. Select it and go to Actions if you want to change it from public to unlisted, which would mean anyone with the link can view, or private, which could be individuals or circles. This is Martin Shevington. Please subscribe to the Plus Your Business YouTube channel, as well as check out plusyourbusiness.com, where you'll find an enormous amount of free resources, as well as you've been able to get in touch if you'd like to talk with myself or one of the team about using Google Plus for Business. Many thanks.